So I got asked, Spic and Span or mop and glow, best way to mop the floor. That's a real interesting question because Spic and Span was like something that you put in the bucket, and it had a real kind of like the connotation with the floor when you scrub it, um, and it had a real interesting scent. Um, and in light of how floors are done today, based on where you live and what you're, how they're trying to change with the environment. Spick and Span was an interesting surface usage for like with the flooring. So it depended on what kind of flooring you had. Um, I mean, my grandma used to like hit them corners, and it had a distinctive scent. You know, um, you kind of like neutralized it and what have you, and you were trying to like trying to get that rise. It depends on what kind of flavor you had, and so often than not, based on the mop you had, it depends on how you were cleaning the floor. If you're using like an old rag and you were doing it like a dance style, I used to call it like James Brown in your floor, because you would pour it in the middle off the bucket and kind of get it with your feet, and you start doing James Brown movement with it. It kind of loaned itself to that. But Spick and Span had that ability to kind of absorb that, kind of pick that up, kind of give it that kind of feel. So it was like a layering, and and trying to cover the nuances, and then trying to let it get fresh and what it would involve, and how it would detail, and what it would matter out to be, and so on. But when we got to Mop and Glow hit a bit different. It now the trip I think with Mop and Glow, it looked like apple juice or something. It didn't smell like it. But sometimes how it would pick up certain surfaces like you're trying to clean. Again, when you're mopping, if you use the mop, rag mop or what have you, you were learning how to dry mop, but you wanted to get everything a certain way to get it fresh, but at the same time, you want it to be composed, and how it would hit, and how it would texture, and how it would how it would come through. So it's a dicey call in hindsight, thinking about it. It's a dicey call with which way you would go with it, because there are parts of it where it makes sense, and then there's parts of it where you're just kind of confused. You're kind of shrugging your shoulders because you really don't, know which way it's going to go with it, and tone and